So I've already found a rabbit head. I have found a salmon head. And I found an Enderman head. What's up, guys? My name is Mathew Kande. Welcome back to another episode of Journey to Hermitcraft. Today is going to be an exciting one, guys. We have Zuma from the Hermitcraft series joining us today. I've spent a lot of time with him today trying to figure out how to get my server set up a little bit more like the Hermitcraft server. So a lot of cool features to go over. I'm going to have him do it later in the episode, because he's just so much smarter at it and so much better at explaining it. So I'll go ahead and cut to him later on. But in the meantime, let's get you caught up with what I've done in between episodes. Alright, guys, and as you can see, we've been working on the paths between episodes. So we've gone through here. This section is, it's getting there. I'm starting it, and I'm tweaking it along the way. This we have a little stem coming up here, a little stem going down that way. Nothing's really finished yet, but I've been working on it in between episodes. So this is the path that eventually I kind of want to do everywhere. So we got these posts with the lights on the side and, all the grass to kind of just make it look a lot better. Oh, something I better point out. When this village spawned, these two were literally touching each other, these two buildings. So I'm moving this one over to the right. However, there's a villager stuck in here with this dirt, so later on in today's episode, we're going to move the top of this building over to the right just to give these builds a little bit more space in between them. But as you can see on this side, we've also been moving the path. So the path now comes over here and stems down that way a little bit. It's all starting to come together, which it's just feeling really, really nice. So it will go down there, and this is going to be a whole... I'm going to turn this into like a little pond farm section and really tear back that cliffside a little bit later. But yeah, so that's basically what we've been doing in between episodes. We're preparing to get some more villagers set up in some pods just like Timmy here. And then let me show you what we got planned for today. Alright, now let's get into what we're going to work on. Oh, let me show you this. Okay, so later in the episode, one of the things that we have now, as you've seen on the Hermitcraft server, is this, the armor stand book. Check it out, guys. Now I have it. The statues, V2.4. So now I can move armor stands around. We'll get back into this a little later in the episode, so hang out till then. Let's check it out, but I just wanted to point that out. All right, on to what we're doing today. I'm going to take this box because everything I need is in there. And we're working over here by the farm we created in the last episode. So now this thing's collecting gunpowder, arrows, string, bones, all that kind of stuff. The gunpowder is the most important. Now what I want to do in today's episode is create a little sugarcane farm, because you need gunpowder and paper to make rockets, which I just used my last rocket to get over here, so now we don't have any. So today's episode's perfect. We'll have a little sugarcane farm in here. We'll have the gunpowder somehow get into this area, and this will be our little rocket factory. Now, in this box, you can see I've already gathered some materials for the farm we're going to need. And I wanted to use in my inventory, I wanted to mimic one of these builds so that it fits into this whole village area. So, we're probably going to use something similar to this building right here. It's going to change a little because it's not the exact same dimensions. This one will be bigger, but it's going to look something similar to that. So let's just get right into this build. I'm going to build the base here and bring you guys along so you can see what's happening. All right. I did go make a couple more rockets because traveling now without the rockets is just not as fun. So I went and made a few more rockets, and now I got the walls and the floor in, but I'm starting to wonder if this build is quite a bit too big. So I'm going to change my approach here, and I'm going to build the sugarcane farm in here and try to just figure out how much space I need. And then once we've done that, then we'll build this building around it just to make sure everything fits. So let's jump into our test world real quick, and I'll show you which farm we're going to build. Alrighty, here we are in my test world, and as you can see, this is the farm right in front of us. Of course, we are going to be using the one-tick sugarcane farm designed by ilmango. Please, if you want to build this in your world, go check out his tutorial. I'll leave a link in the description below. ilmango's a pretty incredible Minecraft player. He's got some genius stuff going on, and he just really understands this game better than anyone. So go support him and check him out. Anyways, quickly, how this thing works is these pistons are shuffling the dirt back and forth underneath this piece of sugarcane with 0 ticks, which causes it to grow for some weird reason. I don't know why. And then this piston behind will push the top off the sugarcane once it grows, and it'll catch in this hopper, and then the hopper will put it in this chest. So let's turn this thing on. I'll show you quickly how it works. You see the dirt pushing back and forth. You see it growing, and the piston pushing it off, and it's falling into this hopper. Boom. So anyways, it's not crazy fast, but it's very small. It's 6 by 6 by 6. So pretty incredibly small. Now, let's turn this thing off, and let's build this thing on the Journey to Hermitcraft server. Alright, and we are back on the Journey to Hermitcraft server. So let me just show you what's going on here. I've been working for about an hour now. I've built this thing twice now. So originally I wanted it so that when I came in this way, I would be looking at it head on, just like this. But what I didn't remember was that there's a slime block on the back. And let me just show you, if you get too close to the wall with this thing, the slime block pulls the piece away. So anyways, I had to tear this thing down, rebuild it a block away from the wall, and in doing so I realized I had to turn this thing. So this will no longer be the front entrance. I have changed it, so now the front entrance will be on the front, and when you walk in, everything's nice and centered. Your on-off switch is right here. And I need to find a way to sort the gunpowder, bring it underground, and do a little item elevator over here somewhere, so I have my sugarcane in here. I just threw all this other junk in here, and then hopefully I can get the gunpowder to pop up over here somehow. That way when I'm standing here, I can get the sugar, I can get the gunpowder, I can craft whatever I need to do, and then put it into storage. So anyways, that's the plan. I'm gonna have to play around with this a little bit more, but let's go ahead and build up these walls, finish the exterior now that we know exactly what's going inside. Everything else will be underground and used inside, so we should be okay to build the rest of this building now. Alright, so as you can see, here's the smaller version of the house we were trying to build. There's the larger version. So to be totally truthful with you, the smaller version looks better to me. However, I'm sure we could do some things that will make this one look a little nicer in the long term. So, you know, we got to do something. I'm going to change up all this floor around it into grass and dirt and stuff like that so that it blends in better. But let me give you a little tour of the inside. So now as you walk in, this thing is perfectly centered in between the two hips. That works perfectly fine. And as we walk around to the back, the only thing, you know, there's some wasted space back here. Hopefully we can figure out what to do with it. And again, the reason we had to do it because of that slime block. But now the next problem is the roof is hitting the slime block. And let me throw this thing on real quick. And as you can see, it just slides that piece back and forth. And you know what? I think we're just gonna have to deal with that. I don't really know what to do at this point, other than raising it up another level. Then it's gonna make the building look even stranger. So we're gonna leave it as it is for the time being, which is kind of awesome. So now the sugarcane farm's done. You can see it's already been chucking away a little bit there. All I really have to do now is figure out how to get the gunpowder from that chest into this building. So I'll be able to build a little item sorter underneath it, and then do a little ice column or maybe a little water trench under here, and then a bubble elevator or an item elevator up to right here. So now we'll have a chest here. So I'll figure that out in between episodes. That's going to be a lot of redstone. I'm not 100% sure how to do it, so I'll be figuring it out and playing around with it. So once we get that done, I'll show you exactly how we built it. All right, I guess the next thing in today's episode is to show you what we started talking about in the beginning. Remember the armor stand? Let me go to sleep here and I'll show you that armor stand. All right. So, it's the next day, and remember the armor stand? So here we are. All right, let me just show this to you real quick. So, I got a little too many things in my inventory, probably. Let's just dump some of this stuff so I can show you this. All right, so let's go ahead and put all these items on the stand. You can see I have full armor on that stand. Can I give him my sword? Not yet. Okay, so check out this book. So this book is what they have on the Hermitcraft server. And you can do stupid things like, okay, show the arms on it. Now it has arms. Now I can put a sword in it. So this book is just really cool. Like, another thing you can do is give it position. So like, let's just say we want it to have that position, confident position. Let's try out another one. Let's do like a running position. So you can see now I can play around with armor stands and make them do just all kinds of stuff. So anyways, and then I can even get that thing to disappear on the bottom. So check this out. I don't want the base plate to show. No. Now there's no base plate. Now he's just sitting there. So this is one of the coolest things, and I love it. So I'm super happy to have that book now. The other thing that I have from the Hermitcraft server are player heads or enemy heads or whatever they are called, but I'm pretty sure they're called player heads. So I've already found a rabbit head. I have found a salmon head, and I found an enderman head. You know, I haven't found them. I've killed all these. The way you get them is if you kill one of them randomly in the wild, they have a small % chance of dropping one. And because I have an enderman farm, of course I've gotten the enderman head. I killed one rabbit, got that luckily. I killed one salmon, got that luckily. It took literally like 100 endermen before I got the enderman head though. So now we have mob heads and we have the armor stand. I have a few other things that I don't really understand how to use yet, so hopefully I can get some more clarification on that. But and then, as you've already seen, my UI is darker now, and if you're looking at these grass blocks, typically the dirt portion comes up higher. Now the grass is coming down lower. So as I promised you earlier, you know, I've been spending a lot of time with Xisuma from Hermitcraft server today, and I kind of wanted him to give you the rundown on these textures and the data packs that I have on the journey to Hermitcraft server now. So, you know, they're all vanilla tweaks, and I really just wanted to keep the game as vanilla as possible with just some like tiny little tweaks. So, Xisuma, go ahead, take it over, and why don't you explain what these tweaks are?
So Vanilla Tweaks is a part of my website. If you go to Xisumavoid.com, you can find a link to it on the side of the screen, and this is where you can get crafting tweaks, data packs, and also resource packs as well. And this all started off with me just tweaking the glass texture that used to have these ugly streaks for it, and over time I added more textures, then other people got involved, and now there's a whole team that have built this beautiful website where you can come in and you can tweak the look of the game. The theme here is to stick to the vanilla feel, yet offer up some extra features and touches and polish, and maybe just some things that are useful, or stuff like this where you can turn down the sounds of certain mobs, because of course a lot of them make a fair bit of noise. So what I'm going to do here is go through and pick all the elements, and with that I'll be creating a pack that I can download. But what you can do in the description box down below is you can get a link to this website that will give you all the same selections that I'm going to be choosing. So let's go through my selection. First of all, we have different stems, and over here on the side you can get a preview of what we're looking at. So that colours your melon and pumpkin stems rather than have them look the same. That to me seems just like such a simple change. In the terrain changes, we're going to go with better bedrock, because the bedrock texture is just not very nice. And then the brighter nether is purely for video purposes. It makes every texture in the nether just a little bit brighter, and more visible. I also ummed and ahed about going for whiter snow and changing some of the other textures, but I've tried to stick to things that will be very close to vanilla. However, the sides of blocks look really fantastic when they come down lower than the default thing, so I'm going to go for that in this pack as well. Then when it comes to variation, this is actually one of my favourite features. What this will do is create very slight and subtle variations between the same texture. So when you have a large wall of one material, there's lots of little different tweaks and changes just here and there that you'll barely notice. I didn't go for any of the connected textures. I'd rather that stuff just be, you know, if it was introduced to the vanilla game, I'd be happy with it, but I'll leave it alone. Then in utility, we've got a really popular one, diminishing tools. This makes your tools get visibly worn out and smaller, and that's a really great indicator for when you're running low and need to go back to a farm to repair your stuff. We've also got sticky pistons, directional hoppers, and better observers, which I've been using for a while. The unintrusive rain is amazing. It just makes rain a little less intrusive, obviously. It looks really good in game. Transparent shields and lower shield as well, so that's less obtrusive. We've got lower fire, and then smaller utilities. I always have golden carrots in my offhand. It's a thing that I do, and it takes up a large amount of the screen. So all the different food types and totem of undying and similar items, if it's in your offhand, it's going to appear smaller on the screen. In this one, we got wither hearts, makes them more visible when you're taking damage from a wither, because that can be quite tricky. And then the pin color indicator. Sometimes it's just nice to see the colors. They help you digest the information. Now, this is a feature I'm really looking forward to using, the dark UI. I reckon this is going to look really slick. So we're going to include that one, and we'll see how it looks. We also got a background for our menus, which is andesite. I really like that. It looks nice, much better than dirt. And then for the menu panorama, there's a few options here, including all of my Hermitcraft bases. But I'm always ever so fond of Season 2, and so I want to be reminded of that every time I load up the game to play. So we're going to go with that one right there. Haven't picked anything from retro. None of this stuff interests me that much. And then from fun, of course, we've got to have the Asuma turtle. So I'm now going to download the pack and put it into the game, and of course there'll be a link in the description box that will take you to the Vanilla Tweaks page and have the very same selection that I have, so you can get the same resource pack if you wish to do so.
Oh, I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I've just been trying to fly that whole time. Hello, Matt. You dum-dum. Xisuma, thank you so much for explaining that information. And he's actually made a whole video talking about some of this stuff. So I'm going to leave a link to his channel, to his video in the description below. Please go and support him. He just hit 1 million subscribers, which is just incredible. I have just started my path. I think I've hit 10 subscribers. Woohoo! Quite a big difference in number of subscribers, but one day I'll be able to catch up with him. More importantly, I'm excited to start playing with him. I can't wait to get on the Hermitcraft server and start playing with him and making some builds with him. He's got some incredible stuff going on, so go check it out. But anyways, guys, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching the video till the end. If you enjoyed this episode, please click that like button, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Tweet me at Mathew Kande, and until next time, y'all, peace. Hey, what's up, guys? If you enjoyed that video, please click the button in the upper left-hand corner. That will subscribe to my channel. If you're interested in other videos, in the upper right-hand corner is a link to a video that YouTube thinks you might like. Thanks, guys. See ya.